Hello, good day. Today, my demonstration is about installation of Openstack. Specifically, I'll be installing Openstack Ocata. This is the latest version of Openstack. This is March 2017. So at this time, this is the latest version. I'll be doing the all-in-one installation. That means I'll be installing all the components in one machine. Or I'll make another video where I will demonstrate how to do the multi-node installation, where you install the components separately on different machines. I'll be doing the installation based on the Packstack utility. Packstack utility is a utility from RDO that makes use of Puppet to do installation of OpenStack. What do I require? I require maybe a virtual machine or a physical host. In this demonstration, I'll actually be using a physical host, but you can use a virtual machine. I would recommend at least 4 gig of RAM or disk space, maybe at least 20 gig disk space. CPU, at least maybe 2 CPU, 2 core. I would recommend a fresh installation, of CentOS 7 or Red Hat, or I'll recommend a fresh minimal installation. That's the minimal installation of CentOS. So let's go to the terminal. This is my terminal on this system. I'm running CentOS 7.3, as you can see. So this is what I'll be using. So let's go to the page. I'll be following the instruction of on the Packstack RDO Packstack installation page, starting from step 0 of prerequisite. So the prerequisite is a Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7, or CentOS 7 Scientific Linux, etc. This is the 8664 is the only supported architecture. So, like you see, also they say the machine should have at least 4 gig of RAM, preferably 6 gig. So, on the hardware should have a virtualization extension. So virtualization extension, if you don't know what that means, so if I go here and I do ls CPU, you see virtualization VTX. So that is you need this virtualization extension to be on. So that is required, for the the compute for you to be able to launch instance. So the first step, it says we need to disable the firewall D. So copy that, paste, disable firewall D. We'll stop it. Stop firewall D. Okay, hold on. I think my system is responding slowly. Okay, it's back. So disable network manager. This is very important, actually, the network manager, disabling of network manager, because at this point the networking of OpenStack from Packstack does not work with network manager. Stop network manager and ensure the network service is running. Enable network and start network. So these are very important steps. I will encourage you not to omit them. So now to installation of the repositories. So the first one is for Red Hat, but since we are not using Red Hat, we are using CentOS. So we'll be doing this. Yum install CentOS release OpenStack Ocata. So that will install. And after install that, we have to update. Do an update. So it's going to update the system and the repositories. So after doing that, the next step is actually to install the utility itself, the Packstack installer. So that's the utility that will actually be used to do all this installation. So copy or paste. Let's wait for the installation to complete. So the next step here, actually, it says step 3 to run Packstack all in one, but we are not going to be doing this because I want to do some modification. So we are going to create what is called an answer file. So if you look here, there's something called answer file. So we are going to generate the answer file and make some modification. We are going to spend most of the time in this demonstration in the answer file. So that's what we are going to do next. But let's wait for the Packstack utility to complete. So don't do this. So one other thing that I will also be showing you is about the networking. So there's another page here. So you see something like if you're planning on something fancier, I'll read the document on advanced networking before proceeding. So this is very important, especially if you want to be able to access your instances, from your home network, from your office network, or that is your Wi-Fi. So you have to follow the instructions here. It is important. So uh, the installation of Packstack is complete. I'll clear my screen. So I will go out as root. I don't want to be root. So the user that I'll be using is called dollar. So one thing you have to note is that this user that you are going to be using, if you are not using root, must have administrative right. That is, so you see is a member of the wheel. So it's has a sudo right. So clear screen a bit. So what we are going to run is Packstack, and we are going to do gen answer file. So answer file, then equals. So equals is we just point that to the name of the file that I want to use. So this is answer file. So press enter. So wait for it to generate. So it's already generated the answer file, and it is using the SSH key stated here. So let me clear the screen, do an ls. So our answer file is generated, as you can see. Let's edit the file. Say answer file. Answer file. Okay, I spelled answer wrong, so let me just so this is the file. I spelled it wrong, but that's fine. So this is what the answer file looks like. The answer file is a relatively large file. So you see it is actually about 1310 lines, but we will not be dealing with all the lines. Actually, we'll be dealing with some of them. So the first option that we are going to deal with is the default password. So this will be the password that will be used, for any service, that requires a password to be set. So I gave it default password of password. So some of the services are enabled, some of the services are disabled. So we are going to enable some services. So if you look at some of the services, you see something like Y and N. Y for yes, N for no. So if you see, for example, here config neutron install, you say yes. That is, you want it to, but some will have no. So we have to uh, enable some services. So I think this is one of the new services. This was not be there before. It's a OpenStack event services Panko. Yeah, let me install that actually. I don't know what that service does, but let me install it so that I can learn what it does. One service that I like to install that I use very frequently is the eat service. So it is not enabled by default. So I will enable it. The eat service is for orchestration. So, and it was very useful. So I think that's all I want to enable there. Um, so Nagios, specify yes to install Nagios monitor. I'm going to leave this. I don't really use that. Um, so you see, if we needed to install a multi-node environment, we have to specify things like the controller host, the compute host, the network host. But since we are installing everything on this machine, we are going to leave all this as it is. So that's fine. Uh, so let's go ahead. Um, uh, let's go to another thing that we need to let me search actually. So there's one service that usually comes enabled by default here. It's called the demo service. uh, I would like to disable it because at times it's a source of confusion. I don't need it. So one thing that I would like to enable is CloudWatch. So it's a config hit CloudWatch install. Yeah, I would like to enable that. Uh, change to yes. So another area that I would like to make some changes is in the neutron area. That is the neutron that is for networking. So I would like to make some changes here. So one very important thing you have to pay attention is the bridge. So it's a config this option, config neutron L3 external bridge. This BR-EX. So that is the name of the bridge that will be created by default. So pay attention to that name. And something else I would like to enable is the load balancer. The load balancer as a service, I would like to enable that. I would like to enable firewall as a service. So uh, so the config, the ML2 types, VXLAN and VLAN. So that is fine. So one area that I would like you to point your attention to is this config here. Config neutron OVS bridge mapping. So ESTnet colon BRX. So BREX is the name of the bridge that I showed you before. It is going to be OVS bridge. So if you are not familiar with OVS, OVS is an acronym for Open vSwitch plugin. So it is a very important part of OpenStack. So this mapping is essential. So what ESTnet represents is external network, and by external network we mean something like our Wi-Fi or some or provider network. So that is what ESTnet represents. So another config that is important is the mapping, between the BREX to the mapping to the interface that I want to use. So on my system, so this is I have another terminal open for on the same I am on the same system. I just open another terminal. So I have a couple of interfaces actually. I have EM1, EM2, EM3, EM4. So I would like to use the interface that I would like to use for my OpenStack. I mean for this mapping. I would like to use the EM2 actually. I would like to use the EM2. So I will create the mapping, that is BREX colon EM2. So like you see here, BREX colon this and the example here is ET0, but my interfaces that I want to use is EM2. So I'm using BREX EM2. So if you don't have multiple interfaces on your system, that is fine. You can use the same interface. I have multiple interfaces on my system, and I would like to use EM2 for the neutral networking. I would like to keep my EM1 for SSH. So that is that. It is very important. So that is, I think that is, so that point actually, that point about the networking, that is what was explained in this document, advanced networking about. So the options that we have done, you can actually do everything on the same line without editing the file, but I think it's better to edit the file. So you see the uh, the mapping, the physical to the bridge mapping, and the bridge to interface mapping, or disabling the demo service and the ML2 type. So that is what is explained in this document. And that is what we have done. So what else can we enable? Let's look at some of the services that are available. Okay, another thing that I would like to do is my Swift. Let's go to Swift. So Swift is for object storage. So I actually have so for example here, if you come here, um, the if you want to create a storage for your Swift storage, yeah, so this option, config Swift storages, I want to use a dedicated disk for my storage. So I actually have let me become root on this terminal. So this is important only if you want to use a particular disk for for Swift. So I have a storage or dev SDE that I will use for my Swift. So, but before I use it, uh, I have to, so this is the terminal is a dev SDE. So, but before I use it, I have to format it. I have to create a file system on it. So, for example, the default file system here is ext4. So I'll specify that storage here. So dev SDE, that is the storage that I want to use for my Swift. So I have to create a file system on it. So I'm just going to say makefs ext4 on dev SDE. Okay, it's telling me this is an entire device, not just one partition. Yeah, it's okay. Yes. So you have to create the partition on the storage before you do the installation, or else there will be an error in the installation. So that is fine. So that is the storage that I want to use for Swift. So another thing that actually I think we should do is the password, the admin password. So let's search for it. So the admin password. So that is the default password for logging into the cloud. So if you don't create a password, it is going to use some long password, and you have to change it later. But to avoid changing it, I'm just going to use the admin password as password. So this is the admin username. This is the password. So yeah, I think we are almost done. So like I said, you are the most important part of this installation is actually editing this file, this answer file. That is the biggest, that is like the most difficult step. Once you edit it correctly, the rest of the step installation is, or just, it is going to be very smooth. But this file is long, so it's a very long file, and you might not be able to, go over everything. So, but yeah, so you have, I think you, from by the time you do installations, regularly, frequently, you'll be familiar with this file. So I just want to make sure that I've enabled the service I want, the MariaDB class singer LDH. So I think the new service that I see here, the new one, was the Panko service. I have to find out what that does. This service, I don't know what that, I think that's the one new service that I see in this document. I mean, that differs from the previous installations that I have done. So yeah, I think that is all we have to do. I mean, look, actually, there's one thing. I would like to enable this repository. Specify yes to enable the Apple repository. So yeah, I would like to enable this repo. No, actually, I want to do lowercase y. Okay. So yeah, so I think, hold on, let me, one more thing that I like to do. This is not recommended actually, but I like to enable the debug mode. The debug mode is, if you encounter any problem, you'll be able to get a lot of information about your problem. That's the debug mode. So I like to run it in debug mode. So, but it is actually not very necessary. So that is it about the editing of this file. That is the most important, and I think maybe the hardest part of this installation. So we have edited the file. So the next, what we have to do is just run the Packstack again, but this time around we use the dash dash answer file. Then we'll specify the file that we created. So, and the installation is going to start. Yeah, so let's do it. So ask me for the password. I will put my password, and the installation is going to start. The installation, so let me look at the time. The time right now is 1854. Let me look at, so the time is 1854. If you can see my time here. So I want to see how long it's going to take. It's going to take a couple of minutes actually. So, but if you want to do your own installation, you don't need to, move away, because at times there might be an error actually. So that you'll be able to see, but you'll be able to tell from the information, what's going on. For example, you see it says it's preparing all the services, or it's doing some testing, and or basically, starting is is testing some of what it has done. So it, on the back end, it is using Puppet. So Puppet is if you are not familiar with Puppet, Puppet, let me go to the Puppet website, Puppet manifest. Let me just show you an example of what Puppet manifest looks like. I have worked with Puppet before. It's a very good tool. I'm just opening. Okay, let me go back. This is taking a long time. I just want to show a basic example of what Puppet manifests look like. So this is an example of Puppet manifest actually, if you can see. So this is creating a file, ensure it's file, ensure, you can check it out. It's a very nice thing, So that is what this utility uses at the back end. So I'm going to stop this recording here. I'm going to make the second part where after the installation, we are going to log in and do some administrative tasks, like creating our network, creating our router, launching instances, and basically familiarizing with the new Openstack Ocata version. And let's see what are the improvements or what has changed so far. So thank you for watching. Bye. See you in the next part.